This next video is Pore Prioritization, a prevention episode built around one skill that changes everything: knowing what to prioritize and what to ignore. Most blackhead frustration comes from misprioritization. People spend most of their energy on low-impact actions: scrubbing, pore strips, constant inspection, while neglecting high-impact actions: film removal, barrier stability, friction control, consistent inside the pore prevention. Prioritization means you put your time and effort where it actually changes outcomes. It also means you stop chasing perfection and start chasing stability. So today we'll build a prioritization ladder. Tier 1 actions that matter the most, Tier 2 actions that support, Tier 3 optional extras, and Tier 4 actions to avoid because they create harm. Once you know the ladder, you don't need to feel overwhelmed. You just do Tier 1 consistently. Tier 1, the non-negotiables. Tier 1 Action 1, consistent nighttime removal of surface films on sunscreen and makeup days. This is huge. If you wear sunscreen daily and don't remove it well, you accumulate film residue, and pores clog no matter how many actives you buy. So prioritize film removal first. Tier 1 Action 2, protect the barrier with gentle cleansing and moisturizer. If your barrier is irritated, your pores become sticky and reactive. Comfort is a prevention factor, so you prioritize comfort and barrier stability. Tier 1 Action 3, one consistent inside the pore prevention tool used at a tolerable schedule. Not 5. 1. Consistency over intensity. Tier 1 Action 4, reduce mechanical friction triggers in your life. Mask hygiene, phone screen contact, face touching, glasses, pads, pillowcase frequency. Friction creates inflammation and localized congestion. It's a major modern driver. Tier 1 Action 5, never go to 0. On exhausted nights, you still remove the day and moisturize. This single behavior prevents relapses. Those are Tier 1. Do these consistently, and you will usually see meaningful improvement over time. Tier 2 actions, supportive actions that help Tier 1 work better. Tier 2 includes choosing lighter textures if you're oily, simplifying layers under sunscreen, scheduling recovery nights to prevent irritation, cleaning makeup tools if you use them, and adjusting frequency of your prevention tool based on comfort. Tier 2 actions are not the foundation, but they optimize results. Tier 3 actions, optional extras that can help appearance or comfort but are not required. Tier 3 includes occasional clay masks for oil control, occasional professional extraction performed safely, and non-essential serums that do not irritate you. Tier 3 is nice to have, not need to have. Tier 4 actions, avoid because they create harm or confusion. Tier 4 includes harsh scrubs, frequent pore strips, DIY acids like lemon or baking soda, stacking multiple exfoliants, applying strong actives on irritated skin, obsessive magnifying mirror inspection, and aggressive squeezing. Tier 4 actions often feel satisfying, but they increase inflammation and make blackheads more likely long-term. Now, prioritization also means knowing which problem to solve first. If you have film residue issues, adding stronger actives won't solve it. You solve film removal first. If you have barrier irritation, adding stronger actives worsens it. You solve barrier first. If you have friction-driven congestion, you solve friction first. Once the dominant problem is controlled, the inside the pore prevention tool becomes more effective. This is why some people think products don't work, they are ignoring the real driver. Now, we apply the prioritization ladder to common situations. Situation: I'm oily and I have nose dots. Tier 1 priorities: gentle cleansing, film removal consistency, one prevention tool schedule, light moisturizer, avoid scrubbing the nose, reduce friction from wiping and glasses. Tier 2, choose lighter sunscreen textures, reduce layers. Tier 3, occasional clay mask. Tier 4, daily pore strips. Situation: I wear makeup daily and I'm congested. Tier 1, film removal at night is your top priority. Tier 2, simplify layers and clean makeup tools. Tier 3, optional professional support. Tier 4, adding multiple exfoliants to compensate. Situation: I wear a mask and my cheeks are bumpy. Tier 1, friction control and barrier support. Tier 2, adjust actives so you don't irritate friction zones. Tier 3, none needed. Tier 4, scrubbing irritated cheeks. Situation: my skin stings with everything. Tier 1, barrier stabilization. Tier 2, slow introduction of one tool at low frequency. Tier 3, none needed. Tier 4, forcing actives. Now, we address the biggest prioritization trap: spending energy on the wrong metric. The wrong metric is, how many dots can I see in a magnifying mirror? The right metrics are comfort, frequency of new clogs, smoothness trend over weeks, and stability across stressful days. When you measure the right metrics, you make better decisions. Now, prioritization gives you a simple daily plan. Do Tier 1 first, and stop there unless you have extra time and comfort. That means remove films if you wore them, cleanse gently, moisturize, apply your one tool on scheduled nights, and manage friction triggers. That's enough. Now we close with the prioritization promise. You don't need to do more. You need to do what matters. When you prioritize the right actions and stop wasting energy on harmful, low-impact habits, blackheads reduce because the pore environment becomes stable. This next video is Pore Workflow, a prevention episode that treats your skincare like a production workflow, because workflows are easier to follow than motivation. When you have a workflow, you don't decide every time. You run the steps. And blackhead prevention succeeds when it becomes automatic. So today, I'm going to give you a pore workflow that is designed for speed, low irritation, and consistency. Not a complicated routine. A workflow: inputs, steps, checkpoints, and outputs. The output we want is stable pores, fewer true blackheads, smoother texture, less frequent congestion spikes, and comfortable skin. The inputs are the realities of your day: sunscreen use, makeup use, sweating, friction, stress, and time. A good workflow adapts to inputs without becoming chaotic. That's the point. Step 1 of the workflow is the intake check. Every night you do a 3-second intake check. Did I wear sunscreen or makeup today? Did I have high sweat or high friction today? Does my skin feel irritated right now? These 3 questions decide the branch of the workflow. If you wore sunscreen or makeup, you go to the film removal branch. If you had high sweat or high friction, you go to the friction reset branch. If you feel irritation, you go to the barrier recovery branch. If none of those apply, you go to the standard branch. This eliminates decision fatigue. Now, the film removal branch. The goal is to remove surface films thoroughly but gently, because film residue is one of the biggest hidden drivers of blackheads. In the workflow, film removal is a dedicated step, not something you hope your cleanser handles in 5 seconds. You dissolve the film, then cleanse gently, then moisturize. If it's a scheduled tool night, you apply your one primary inside the pore tool after cleansing and before moisturizing, or buffer with moisturizer if sensitive. The checkpoint after this branch is comfort. Does the skin feel clean but not tight? If tight, adjust gentleness and add moisturizer. That's the quality check. Now the friction reset branch. High friction days include long mask wear, helmet straps, phone contact, heavy wiping, sweating under occlusion. The goal is to reduce inflammation and residue that accumulate from friction. The workflow steps are gentle cleanse, moisturize, contact zones, clean contact surfaces, when possible, mask, phone, and avoid applying strong actives directly on tender friction zones that feel irritated. This branch is about stability, not intensity. The checkpoint is redness and tenderness. If the skin feels tender, you prioritize recovery. Now, the barrier recovery branch. This branch activates when your skin feels stingy, burning, tight, or unusually reactive. This is critical because many people ignore irritation and keep using actives, which worsens congestion long-term. Barrier recovery branch steps are: gentle cleanse, moisturize generously, and pause strong actives. In the morning, sunscreen if needed. That's it. The checkpoint is comfort improvement over the next few days. Once comfort returns, you re-enter the standard branch and resume scheduled tool nights at a lower frequency. Now the standard branch. This is the normal workflow for stable nights. Steps are: gentle cleanse, apply your scheduled one prevention tool if it's a tool night. Moisturize. If it's not a tool night, it's a recovery night. Cleanse and moisturize only. The workflow includes built-in recovery nights as part of the production schedule. This prevents barrier burnout. Now we define the schedule component of the workflow: tool nights and recovery nights. Tool nights are 2 or 3 nights per week depending on tolerance. Recovery nights are the rest. The schedule is fixed so you don't decide each night. Fixing the schedule removes decision fatigue, which increases consistency. Now, the workflow's weekly maintenance module. Once per week, you run a short maintenance workflow. Change pillowcase or rotate to a clean one, clean phone screen, clean glasses, pads if you wear them, and check hair product habits if you get forehead congestion. These tasks reduce recontamination and friction triggers. Think of them like equipment cleaning in production. Without them, quality drops. Now we add failure mode handling. In workflows, you plan for failures. Failure mode 1, exhaustion. If you're exhausted, you run the minimum workflow, remove the day, and moisturize. Never zero. Failure mode 2, travel. When traveling, you run the travel workflow. Keep products minimal, no experiments, film removal consistent, moisturize, and maintain your schedule if your skin is comfortable. Failure mode 3, sudden irritation. You run barrier recovery branch immediately. Failure mode 4, sudden increased congestion. You don't add more acids. You check inputs, film removal consistency, friction exposure, and schedule adherence. You fix the input before changing tools. That's workflow thinking. Now, we address the nose in a workflow-friendly way. The nose often tempts people into off-workflow behavior: scrubbing, pore strips, daily extraction. The workflow prohibits that because it creates damage and inconsistency. Instead, the workflow says, treat the nose like any other zone. Film management, scheduled tool nights, light hydration to soften contrast, and friction reduction if you wear glasses or wipe frequently. The checkpoint for the nose is not no dots. The checkpoint is less true plugging, less roughness, less irritation, and reduced shine. Now, we end with the main benefit of a pore workflow. It makes prevention automatic. You stop negotiating with yourself nightly. You stop panic exfoliating. You stop ignoring film and friction triggers. You protect the barrier, which keeps pores less sticky. And you keep a consistent schedule long enough for biology to change. That's why workflows work. They turn prevention from emotion. This next video is Pore Decision Tree, a prevention episode where you never guess again because you follow a simple mental decision tree. Most blackhead routines fail because people make decisions based on emotion. I look clogged, so I'll scrub. I feel oily, so I'll wash again. I'm impatient, so I'll add another acid. A decision tree removes emotion. It gives you a clear next step. You ask a question, you follow the branch, you take the action. That's it. And because blackhead prevention is mostly about avoiding the wrong decisions, over-stripping, over-exfoliating, ignoring film and friction, a decision tree can improve your results fast. So in this episode, I'll give you a full blackhead prevention decision tree you can run in your head every night and every time you feel stuck. We start at the top. Question 1. Do I feel irritation right now? Irritation means stinging, burning, tightness, or visible redness and rawness. If yes, you are in the barrier priority branch. Your action: no escalation. You do gentle cleansing, moisturize, sunscreen in the morning, and you pause strong actives for a few days until comfort returns. You do not scrub. You do not stack acids. You do not try to push through. If no, go to question 2. Did I wear sunscreen, makeup, or heavy film today? If yes, you are in the film priority branch. Your action: film removal.